go. Wrexham come out 1-0 victors. Ugly. I think that is the word that you would use for that. I think it was the ugliest display I've seen. There are absolutely no offence to Sheffield Wednesday. There's a few players in their team today that absolutely worked their socks off. But with performances like that, there are plenty of teams in this league who are just the floor with us today, I think, to be honest. Second week, obviously, we went down to QPR last week. It was an absolutely atrocious first half. Was not much better this week. Was awful. Better second half, I think you'd probably say, but still...
In parts.
Yeah, 100% in parts. It certainly wasn't to any sort of level that you would classify as a team that are purportedly in the running for playoffs. It didn't look like that. That didn't look like a team who were bottom, having only won one game all season, playing a team that were in the playoffs. That didn't look like that at all. And like I said, there was a few Sheffield Wednesday players that absolutely worked their socks off today, and I was quite impressed with them. They're just lacking a little bit of quality in a few areas, and obviously it's a complete rebuilding job for them now. But yeah, glad I came. Real historic place to come to watch football. But as for the football that was on show for us today, pretty poor. Mark said morning from Bakersfield, California. Agree, not real smooth. And he said, love that you were at the game to give your analysis. Spot on.
I'm here.
I thought I'd lost her. Yeah, look, I think when games like this come around, I think 3 points are 3 points. And you've just got to go, look, that was poor, but what are we really moaning about? We've got 3 points, we need to move on. Although, like I said, that is the second week in a row where we've just gone completely missing. We've gone completely missing in that first half. But you know, we're like I say, we're taking 3 points home, so we've just got to take that. Mike said, Sian, you look uncomfortable.
I'm a little, thanks. What do you mean, uncomfortable? What do you mean?
Erin said, love your scarf.
Thank you, my in-laws bought it for me for Christmas.
Kiwi, take the points and run. Our form on paper is better than on the field. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, we had... If you look at the stats from today, the amount of possession that we had was insane. The amount of passes that we made compared to Sheffield Wednesday, also insane. But we just didn't feel like we were doing anything with it. Too much backwards, too much sideways, too much recycling, too much rebuilding, and it just...
It was boring football, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it didn't feel like there was much urgency in there, and I think... maybe it could have been more, but you sort of struggled to see where more was going to come from. But yeah, off the bench, yeah. Tarden, does the back look confused? Kabore and Smith, they look like they were finally clicking. Hi from Maryland. Hello. No, I don't know. I think what says a lot is when the one person you almost feel like you can guarantee to look forward and get the ball forward is Callum Doyle.
He's superb.
Everyone else is very sideways, backwards, recycle, start again. But Callum always looks like he's on the front foot and he wants to get the ball forward. Yeah. I think that's a little bit, that's good and that's what you want. But when you're playing too defensive midfielders in James and Sheaf, who I don't think particularly clicked and worked particularly well today. So, but yeah, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
It's what it is. Rick said you are frowning.
Yeah, because it's a bit bright.
Right, how do we get across here?
I don't know where we're going.
No, I do. No, we're good. Erin said, just seemed like a friendly practice game. It was a wasted opportunity to increase the goal difference. Also high from Maryland. Rick, I thought they were really... This way.
What?
This way.
Oh, God.
I thought they were really stuffing the back to keep them, to keep us from scoring. Kerry wasn't able to watch the game, but excited for the win and appreciate your recap. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel too sorry for you that you missed the game. If I'm honest, that's the sort of level that you've that we're at. Tardan, when Moore came on, I was confused as to who the mustachioed man was, and Rake the Snake, I feel like Kabore showed a little more quality today. Yeah, definitely getting back to it, I think. But all in all, I'm disappointed with the performance, but 100% will take the points.
Yeah.
And you just sort of you've got to move on from it, but at the same time, I do feel we are going to have to, not us, but we are going to have to address this at some point with quite negative football that we play at times, and it seems to be we seem to be struggling killing games off. We've been in numerous positions. How many points have we dropped from winning positions this season? And I feel like it's the negativity in our play at times that means we're not kicking on and we're not killing teams off. But yeah, Karen, thank you so much for supporting us. Hi from Mark and Karen. Happy to win. I think that's the title of the weekend, isn't it? Just happy to win.
Yeah,
let's move on. Mike, we really have a hard time breaking down teams in the final third. We seem devoid of ideas at times. We're sort of in great positions, but our instant gut reaction is don't lose the ball, turn around, play backwards, hold on to it, recycle, start again, instead of just trying something to try and get ourselves on the front foot.
I feel like a lot of the players had opportunities to score as well when they had the ball.
Yeah,
but they just seemed like and this has happened before, they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Lamar said Kabore was great today. He did. I felt like in the first half, it definitely felt like he was. Their left back was there to be exploited, and I'm just not sure we completely took advantage of that in the first half. We did a little bit more in the second, but I just felt like we just should have been pumping balls down that right hand side constantly. But yeah, look, guys, we need to have a look for the car. So
we're just walking,
I know where we are. Don't worry. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to jump back in the car. Little 2.5 hour.
Wish it was 2.5
trip.
miles.
Yeah, so do I. Back home. Saffron, considering we normally show up for the top teams and Bottler against the lower teams, I'll take the 3 points. Yes. Glad for 3 points today. This is 111 Ruth. Glad for 3 points today. It took a while for us to get going. Miss Perfection says hi, hello. And Rick said not a classic, but I'll take the 3 points. And on to the next one. It is true, you rise to the level of your opponent, and it was a dud. On that note, thank you very much for joining us. And make sure you catch the podcast Monday, 6 p.m. Yeah.
Over and out.
Over and out. Enjoy your weekend, guys. We're off home. Bye-bye.